friends. Here we are to talk about a great question that I just received. And this is one that comes up over and over and over and over and over and over again. And it's always shared in a various form of, quotes or pictures of brain scans or examples of how sugar is just as addictive as cocaine. Something I've honestly never tried. And those of you who know me, I'm an open book. I'm an honest person. I've always said I've never tried cocaine because I know my brain would probably love it. And that may sound crazy to say, but I know my genetics. I know my brain makeup. That was my biggest reason. Never tried it because I know my brain would like it. So I'm going to keep this PG and start off with a cleaned up line that you may be able to figure out. But first off, nobody has ever broken into a car and stole stuff in order to fuel a cookie addiction. Okay, so that's the PG version. There's a better quote relating to certain things that people may do to get money for drugs. And insert that joke here. Now, I dove into this because I wanted to be clear before I record this video, before I responded. But a lot of this knowledge stems from a study on mice. And that's a first red flag. Study on mice showing that mice over time chose water with sugar in it over water with cocaine in it. Now, we have to put this in context too, right? It's like there's not a monetary issue here with the mice. Like, it's not like they're, I don't have the money to get my Coke, so I'm just going to go eat some sugar. No, sugar actually provides nourishment, which is the basis of our foundation of our energy systems. Our brain is an obligatory glucose user, meaning it runs on glucose. But the bigger thing here is a lot of times in these posts, and especially the one that was shared with me asking my thoughts on it, is I see this mistake made all the time. Sugar is as addictive as cocaine, and it lights up the same areas of your brain. So why aren't people going out and eating spoonfuls of sugar? Because the foods that are always referenced right after saying that are not just sugar. Cookies and cake and chocolate. What else is in those? It's not just sugar. It is a combination of sugar, fat, and salt. And food scientists know that, yes, when you combine two or all three of these, it's hyper rewarding, hyper palatable. Hyper palatable, it tastes good. Hyper rewarding, it does stimulate the brain, our pleasure sensors in our brain, our pleasure zones in our brain. That being said, when you look at the glycemic index of foods, guess what food is actually extremely satiating? A white potato, which is pure carb. And it eventually gets broken down into glucose, aka pure sugar. So it's not that it's, and again, if it was a sugar thing, people would be going and eating spoonfuls of sugar, not crushing cookies, crushing cake. Now, you may say, well, what about soda? That, interestingly enough, what if it's caffeinated? Because caffeine is addictive, because caffeine is technically a drug. And that may be the reason why. What if it's caffeine-free soda? I don't know. You can keep telling yourself that you're addicted to sugar, or just admit that I don't like drinking water. And honestly, if you're drinking a 0-calorie beverage of any sort, you're all right. And we'll save the artificial sweetener talk for another day. But yeah, drinking just pure sugar, high fructose corn syrup and water is one of the most unhealthy things you can do for yourself. It is pure, unfilling, unsatiating calories. So one of my kind of tough love things is stop drinking soda and just stop it. If it's full sugar soda. If you want to do Diet Coke, do Diet Coke. But one of the least healthy things you can be putting in your body is just pure soda pop, Coca-Cola, whatever you want to call it. Like, just, you need to stop that. And if you're not willing to stop that, that's always like the lowest hanging fruit when I'm working with a client on losing some weight, is if I see that they're a big regular soda consumer, we're addressing that first, because that is providing you with zero benefit. So again, the study showing, yes, sugar does light up the pleasure centers of our brain, technically in the same spot that cocaine and other drugs and sex and all that stuff lights up. However, to say that sugar is as addicting or more addicting as cocaine is false. It's 100% false, and it's been proven many times. And again, the reference is usually made to foods that are multiple hyper-palatable, hyper-rewarding ingredients. I mean, think about cake. There's a lot of fat in cake. Like, how much butter goes into a cake? There's a lot of sugar in cake. There's even salt in cake because it's a baked good. So you've got all three there. Hell yeah, that's going to light up our brain. And hell yeah, it's going to taste good, and it's going to be easy to eat a lot of it. That, honestly, that's why, like, desserts, you know, you've ever eaten a meal at a restaurant and then you get done with your meal and you're like, oh, I'm so stuffed. And then they bring out the dessert tray and you're like, well, I guess I could have some. It's because you've over-exhausted your savory taste buds and your savory sensations in your brain. So those have been overstimulated because you had a big, heavy steak and a potato and some cheese curds. And now they're hitting you with the total other feels of the sweet and goodness. So all of a sudden you go from being like, oh my God, I can't eat another bite of food, to, yeah, I'll do the cheesecake. Because it's psychologically, it's that part of your brain is like, hey, I haven't been touched yet. Like, play with me. So again, the whole like sugar, and again, here we go with some tough love. I'm getting fired up now. You can keep telling yourself this. Keep being the victim. Keep saying, oh, I'm addicted to sugar. Oh, I'm addicted to sugar. Or you can stop it. And you can say, you know what? I don't need to eat sweets all the time. Like, if you're going to a grocery store and just buying candy as a grown adult, anyone who has a driver's license, honestly, and you're just buying candy and crushing candy, that's a deeper issue going on there. You need to take a hard stop and say, why am I doing this? It's probably stress related. It's probably emotional eating related. But if you're a grown adult, not even a grown adult, if you have a driver's license and you're driving to the store to buy candy so you can crush candy, or grabbing candy in the checkout aisle, they know it's attractive. Like, look at the marketing, look at the imaging. They know it's attractive. You got to take a good hard look in the mirror and say, what am I doing? Because this is not acceptable. This is not a healthy behavior. And again, I'm not usually one to talk in absolutes, but if you're buying candy for yourself and eating candy for yourself, you need to take a hard look at why you're doing this and really assess that, because you address whatever that reason is, that's going to clear up a lot of your addictions with food. So I would suggest start there, because, and then on the flip side, guess what? You don't have to ban sweets or candy. Like, I'm not a candy guy. When Halloween rolls around and Adeline gets some candy, yeah, I'm taking some candy from her candy bucket, because that's what parents do. That's our tax, right? You're gonna live under my roof, I'm gonna take your Reese's peanut butter cups, most of them. Sorry. If she ends up really liking Reese's peanut butter cups, then I'll have to change. But yeah, that's a once a year kind of thing. If I'm going to have something sweet, it's going to be like a good ass dessert from a restaurant, or in the summer, we might go get ice cream. And yeah, have it. Like, don't play this victim card and say like, oh, I can never have it because I'm addicted to it. You're giving up. You're passing the ownership onto something else, some inanimate object, sugar, candy, sweets, whatever. You're not accepting that you're in control. And when you play the victim and when you continue to pass the buck on to other things that are truly in your control, but you don't want to accept that they're in your control, you will not succeed. You need to say, I'm in charge here and I'm choosing to have ice cream because it's a hot day and ice cream sounds good. As soon as you do that, you take ownership of that decision. Then when you feel like you don't have a choice, you say, no, I've done this before. I've chosen to eat ice cream. I can choose not to. I can choose to say, no, thank you. Like the other day, finished dinner. Adeline had made some really good those cookies with like little Hershey's Kiss in them with my mom, and she brought them home. They're really good. And I had eaten dinner. I've been really on point with my tracking for personal goals and all that. I've been really diligent. And guess what? I was out of calories for the day. And Adeline wanted to have a cookie after dinner, and she ate all of her dinner. And I said, sure, you want a cookie? And she said, Daddy, do you want one? I said, no, thank you, I'm full. And that was it. End of story. I said, no, thank you, I'm full. Could I have eaten that cookie? Hell yeah, I could have eaten that cookie. I could have eaten like 5 of them. But giving yourself the power to say no, thank you will be more empowering than saying, oh, I'm addicted to sugar and I just can't do it. Again, when was the last time you broke into someone's car and stole the change out of their cup holder so you could fuel your cookie or candy addiction? Think about that for a second. Stop sharing these silly memes. Stop playing the victim card. Start owning up to your decisions. If you want candy, if you like candy, again, I'm not a candy person. If you're a candy person, just make sure that you're choosing to do it for all the right reasons and you're not using it as a cop-out because you're stressed or pissed off about something else that really needs to be addressed. Okay? Just promise me you do that. All right. We're good.